So what I would love for you to do is if you have any questions, type it into the chat so that I may be able to answer it to the best of my knowledge. And we will discuss those in just a little bit here. All right. So let's go on to share the email that I sent everybody because I want to cover a couple things in there. Now, as you all know, um, there's kind of like a reorganization going on in Vyb. Yes, 85,000 people from around the world opted in, say we want to do something with this. But as you all know, in our microwave world that we are in today, if it's not happened within the next week, then gotta find another shiny object. And go for that. I mean, I'm thinking about Abraham. God told him he was going to have a son. And it took 25 years before the son showed up. Now, he did like we all do. He decided to go and manufacture one for himself. But nevertheless, bottom line is we have to figure out why we're doing what we're doing. That's the bottom line. As I shared with you all last week, every creation comes with a gift. Even the mango seed comes with a gift of the mango tree. The mango tree comes with a gift of the mango fruit. The mango fruit comes with a gift of the mango seed. Every creation comes with a gift. And that gift, you notice that the mango tree doesn't eat its own mango fruits. It makes it there available. The gift is there to meet the need of creation. So I always say, what gift do you bear? Everybody is created with some greatness and awesomeness in them. And it's for us not to take it to the grave, but to discover it, develop it, deploy it, and serve it to the world. That's why, personally, I've been in so many things over the last 43 years. So many things. But in 2008, I had a vision of what my purpose is in life. And I've been looking for a foundation upon which to build it. And that purpose has to do for me, and you have to decide for yourself, whatever you're doing while you're doing it. I, I remember as a youngster, I wanted to be in uniform. I wanted to have a title, and that's why I got into flying. I said I wanted to be a commercial pilot, a captain. And so I took all the money that I was making and I went and joined a flight school. And I go from work to the flight school to go learn how to fly. And then the opportunity came for me to apply for a scholarship to go to Florida to become a airline pilot. But before I could leave, an opportunity came to join the Air Force. I said, well, I'll still be wearing a uniform, so that was my purpose. you know. And then through the years, we've done so many things, and then financial planning and all that. And then all the different relationship marketing opportunities that I've had, like some of you have had also. But here's the deal. No matter what level, my level of success, there was always a certain sense of there's got to be more. There's got to be more. There's got to be more to it. you know, and that's when I was driving down the road in 1982, and I said, God, why am I here anyway? Why am I on this earth? I don't know if you've ever asked yourself that question. Okay, because everything is created for a purpose. Necessity is the mother of invention. That necessity is the purpose for which that thing was invented. I hope you understand what I'm saying here. So each one of us, and the word tells us that from the very before the foundation of the earth, he created us unto good works. So what is the work that I was created for? That's what I was thinking about. Because it doesn't matter how successful we are or how challenged we are, everybody wants to have a sense of being, a sense of success, a sense of meaning, a sense of mattering. I remember one of my, in the very early days, one of my mentors, when I started to foray into financial services, was Art Williams. And I remember being in Art's living room in Macon, Georgia, with an Angela, and he was talking about, you know, whenever you see anybody, always imagine there's a neon signboard on their chest saying, say something good about me. Tell me that I matter, you know. And he wrote the book, Pushing Up People. So I always figured that was the purpose. Part of what my purpose was also is to be in a situation where I could lift people up. Okay. And so that day, 1982, I was driving and I said, why am I here? I was going to visit a friend of mine, Dr. Joyce Brooks. And I got to her office. And as I'm entering her office, she hands me a book. And the book, the title of it was, Why Am I Here? It blew my mind. So we all have to figure out why the heck we are doing what we're doing. What kind of a legacy do we want to leave? Because the cemetery is already too wealthy. The cemetery is the wealthiest piece of real estate in any city of the world. It's full of people who took their purpose, their gifts to the grave. Now, they may have had success here or success that and all that, but it's kind of like a fish was given the gift of swimming. Therefore, if a fish is not swimming, it's not fulfilling its purpose. And there will always be some kind of emptiness. And here's the deal. The gift is the inherent capacity to fulfill a purpose that meets a need in creation. A bird is given the gift of flight. And just like fish never have to go to school to learn how to swim, I mean, they swim in schools, but they don't go to school to learn how to swim. Likewise, birds, they have the gift of flight. The purpose of that bird is to fly. It doesn't have to go to flight school like I had to go to learn to fly, right? And when a bird is flying, it's working. It's fulfilling its purpose. When a fish is swimming, it's working. It's fulfilling its purpose. How much more us created in God's image? What is the gifting, the greatness, the awesomeness that makes you so unique in this world because you're an original. What is it that's in you? Have you asked what it is and figured out if you can get into an ecosystem? It's not just about making money, okay? It's not just about making money. For instance, a fork was created for a purpose. Now, can I use the fork to dig a ditch? Yeah, it'd be really tough. It'll do it, but that's not its purpose. A spoon, can I use it to dig a ditch? Yeah, of course I can. So we have to ask ourselves from time to time, what am I doing, even though I can do it or I do it successfully, that is not my calling, it's perhaps just my craving. Anyway, I digress. So as far as a vibe is concerned, that's what I look at. I personally, I see vibe as a foundation to fulfilling my purpose of partnering with my creator to fulfill his purpose. And I know that his original purpose, his very original purpose, was to colonize Earth with his children and then have those children make Earth heaven on earth. Now, what does that mean? I'm not talking about religion here. That's the problem. That's the problem. That's the problem. Religion. So I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about purpose. So I created this whole thing, and it was called Christian Training and Cultural Center. Because I say, different peoples in the world, you can identify them by their culture, not just their color or their language, their culture. The Chinese, they have culture. Japanese, they have culture. Nigerians, they have a culture. Scandinavians, they have a culture. Muslims, they have a culture. Buddhists, they have a culture. And I said to myself, what is the culture of the Christian? And that's when my wife and I established that in 2008. But it was just the beginning of revelation when we finally realized, well, it's not about religion. And this is my purpose in life. Okay? It's kind of like a reformation. And Vibe comes to me as an ecosystem where I can bring people to discover who they are. Have you ever, everybody has to answer 5 questions. You might want to write this down. Question number 1, who am I? Really? Who am I? Who are you? Question number 2, where am I from? Now, I could say, well, I'm originally from Nigeria. No, that's not where I'm from. I'm from the kingdom of God. Okay? Earth is just a colony. And then the third question is, why am I here? The fish knows its job is to swim. The bird knows its job is to fly. When do I figure out what the heck my job is? My purpose for creation is. And I start fulfilling it, because only then will I be truly fulfilled and leave a legacy. Why am I here? And then the next question is, what is my potential? What can I really do? I tell you what, Michael Jackson figured out what his gifting is, what his potential is, and that's what he served to the world. Muhammad Ali figured out what his is. It wasn't about MLM. It wasn't about making money. He figured out what his is, and that's what he served to the world. Tiger Woods knows what his gift is, right? And that's what he served to the world, became a means to an end, right? Michael Jordan figured out what his gift is, and that's what he served to the world. And operating in that gift brings the finances for every single one of those people that I've mentioned to you. Operating on authentically the greatness and the awesomeness, the gifting, the calling that they have been given. Because we all have to understand, people are not looking for you. They're not looking for me. They're looking for the gift that's in you. And when you deploy and serve it, they will pay you for it. So I figure mine is not to get people into some MLM or whatever, but to help them to be in an atmosphere, in an ecosphere. If you want to be a book writer, get the help to write the book. If you are great at designing and all that, get the help and become the Michelangelo, whatever it is, and figure out how to monetize it, you know. So there was the very, very first commandment that we were given was right after we were created. Genesis 1, chapter 1, verse 28. And what was that commandment? Be fruitful. So in your gifting, in your calling, are you being fruitful? Multiply. Replenish the earth. Subdue it. In other words, be so good in your gift, just like McDonald's subdued the franchise business with their burgers. It's not about burgers. KFC, they subdued their gifting, which is the fried chicken. So what is yours? Subdue it and have dominion. And each of those organizations, they have dominion. So what is in you? Because it doesn't matter what we go do, if there isn't a big why, we're not going to be that successful in it. Now, I know some people may still think in terms of religion, but let me share something with you. I was born a Muslim. I was raised in London, England, a Catholic. And then in high school, I reverted to Islam, taught myself the Arabic prayers, and started a congregation. I was a Muslim youth pastor. I was searching, right? And then July 17, 1982 at 4:30 p.m., I became a Christian, a born-again, tongue-talking Christian. So I was searching, right? But what I've discovered, it's not about religion. It's about fulfillment of purpose. And this is what I found out with regards to that. I don't believe I came from a monkey. Some people believe that's how they came from a salamander and all that. I don't believe there was some Big Bang theory. It takes a tremendous faith to believe that. Imagine taking a Swiss watch, beautifully crafted, keeping time accurately, and then you take a sledgehammer and you smash that wristwatch, and then you put it in the bag and you shake it together, and all of a sudden it's going to become that amazing ticking Swiss watch again. I don't think anything could have created the amazing machine that we are. So I believe in creation. So that's why most of what I talk about is always based on that mindset. So I remember reading in a passage of the talents, where the master gave talents to different people. So here, you take 5. Here, you take 2. Here, you take 1. You know. Now I'm going off, and you guys go do something with those talents, right? And you know what happened? One of them went, actually 2 of them went, and they multiplied. The other buried his gift. And the master said to the ones who multiplied their gifts, their talent, their calling, their awesomeness, their uniqueness, the master said to them, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." And that was never said anywhere else in the entire Bible. Yeah, it was only said in that situation where it had to do with people being fruitful, multiply, entrepreneurship. So, what do you have to do to fund your passion and know that you are in your calling and not just a job or a craving, and it's never too late. Now, we had, I sent this email. Again, I digress, forgive me. I do a lot of preparation for this, but then when I get here, I just let the Holy Spirit speak through me. And like the word says, that he who has ear, hear, right? So there was a meeting on Saturday by this gentleman. This gentleman is Robert Dean. Robert Dean was for many years the #1 producer in noni juice. Robert Dean, it's reported, has made over $48 million. And he found it wise to join Vyb. He did a presentation this past Saturday that was really fantastic. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it. Okay. Beyond that, Vyb has already also come up with something that is really amazing. Oh, by the way, when you go to watch this, I put it on our team playlist, and I named it. Let me click on it so I can show you. These are just things that I believe could help you, whether you're committed to Vyb or committed to whatever else. Okay. So this is that presentation that he did. It's about 49 minutes. And I labeled it Vyb, Old School versus new school. That is what captivated my attention, that aspect. When you go invest some time in watching this, it's going to give you a revelation. He gave us a revelation why Vyb had 85,000 people, and 6 months later, only 4,000 purchased, which means a lot of us are currently restructuring. That's the way life goes. But in your restructuring, he gave us some admonishments. Old school versus new school. Part of those admonishments included the introduction of Vyb brand works. He said this: if you're building a business this day and age, he says, I'm speaking to myself also, because I think he's 60 years old or something. He said, if you're building and you're going to go look for people like me, that's old school. He said his son, 30 years old, had a birthday party, a rooftop birthday party just recently, and he had 400 guests that showed up. And throughout that birthday party, these people were all holding their telephones and streaming. And then he showed us his son's social media site. And this guy had on different ones, millions of people. He said that's where they're at today. He said, if you're trying to do business the way network marketing, the way we did it with Amway, the way we did it with Tupperware, the way we did it with all these different things, he said, you're going to be lost. So I think Vyb took heed on that, and they came up with the Vyb brand works. They came up with an AI powered marketing tool so that you can develop a system, so that you can get unlimited people to talk to and to present to. Now, I understand a lot of baby boomers, they still believe that they are digital aliens and only their children are digital citizens, they were born with an iPhone in their hand, right? But the thing is this, we got to learn. And this thing that they put together is amazing. Surprising thing is, they had been telling us they were coming up with something for months, if you remember, for marketing. And 2 weeks ago, I got an invitation. There were only 16 of us. I got an invitation to come and look at an AI marketing platform. It was only the second presentation that they were doing, because they were just bringing this thing up, and there were 16 of us. And I looked at it and I said, wow, That sounds great. But I wasn't totally sold on it until I went the next day again to look at it. And I said, this is amazing. But guess what? The very next day, Vyb introduced it as a part of the Vyb product. Now, this other company had developed their own network marketing company on top of this thing. And that's what some people were inviting me to come and join them. I think it's called Get Lev AI or whatever. And what I found out is that the creator of that platform, quote unquote, had recently purchased NowSite, which is an organization that Vyb has been dealing with. And he was going to create this thing. His name is Terry LaCour. He was going to create this thing to service different network marketing companies. But these guys decided, no, don't just use it for that. Let's wrap a network marketing company around it. But the next day, Vyb introduced the same thing they were showing me over there, only I could get it for less. Not only that, there's a whole bunch more that came with it. This is the direction things are going in life today. Now, why didn't I join that company? Because it did not have the foundation to meet my purpose in life, which is to help people to come into an atmosphere where they can become. The Hebrew word for work actually translates become. When God told Abraham to work, what he told him was become. In other words, become what you were created to be. And that's what I want to help people do. Now, if they have to find that through crypto or they have to find it through Forex, but they do need personal development. They do need to elevate their mindset. The word says wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom. And with all you're getting, get understanding. So when I saw this vault of all this education of people who've been there, done that, making money in it, and now they're teaching people, and then all the other stuff, so that people can really become what they want to become. You got something that you want to teach other people, put it into a course. Leave a legacy. Duplicate yourself. So I didn't want to pigeonhole myself like I've pigeonholed myself branding a network marketing company over the last 40 years. I want people to be able to brand themselves, but provide them with the education and the wherewithal. So this product here helps also to make that happen. Now, for us, it's really a difficult thing right now, because in our organization, I know I personally sponsored 44 people. I had a base of about over 1,800 to 2,000 people who know me. And through that, I did the old school thing. I did my launch. I did my webinars and everything, and I recruited 44. Out of that, 36 decided to pay $25. Out of that, 17 decided to be either a legend or a pro. Now, I don't even know if I got 2 left or 1 left. I don't know who's in, who's out, who's almost in, who's on the way out, But my purpose is still my purpose. You see what I'm saying? So my purpose now, my method is to use the tools to continue to make myself available to my creator so that he can create in me what he wants to create. Because he did say, not by power, not by might, but by my spirit. So for each individual person, ladies and gentlemen, above all things, above all things, above all things, get it set in your mind. Figure it out. Why are you here? What is your purpose? What do you want to achieve? Because there's going to be ups and downs. Think about Megan, 85,000 people, and then only 4,000, and then dwindle down to maybe 1,000. Do you quit? Or were you called? Ah, this happens to the most prolific network marketer that ever stepped foot on the earth. His name is Jesus. Right? So he started with 3, and then 12, and then 70, and then it grew so big. And then he said some things. You must drink my blood and eat my flesh. And they're like, what? I'm out of here. A bunch of people left. And he asked the disciples, are you going to go too? Are you going to leave too? A bunch left. And yet, today, there's 2.5 billion on the surface of the earth. That's what persistence will do. You're going to go through changes where you have to recalibrate, reorganize. But once you've decided this is my purpose, he said, I will give you the desires of your heart. Someday I'll teach on this. He will build that desire. He will make it happen. But for you, what is it? So I know generally we don't get very much participation, but that's all I wanted to share with you today, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you got something out of it. As far as what to do, it's all listed right here. And Vyb does an amazing job of all the different presentations that they make available, the tools, but it is not going to make a darn difference until each one of us decides, who am I? What am I? Why am I here? What is my potential? Where am I headed? Destiny. Because once we decide that, it doesn't matter how bad it looks, we're going to have the ability to stick to it because it's about becoming. It's about fulfillment of purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, please feel free to share your comments with me. Other than that, I'm done for now. This is just the beginning, folks. This is just the beginning, and it is exciting. We're going to go through challenges, but we will overcome them because greater is he that is in us than he that is in the world. And anything great goes through challenges because it's a way to have it proven that we are serious, that we are committed. Otherwise, it's like planting something here today and then going and looking at it tomorrow. Oh man, no fruit yet. This thing hasn't developed into a tree yet. No fruit. I'm gonna dig it up and go plant it over here. And then the next day, oh my good, same thing. That soil looks good over there. I'm gonna dig it up and go put it over there. And that's what a lot of us have done. We need to stop doing that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I don't see any questions in the chat. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them up. Ask. Feel free from time to time to call me if I can be of help to you in any way, shape, or form. Okay. Challenges are part of life. Reorganization is part of life. But so is persistence. Okay. Any comments, anybody? Any questions? Anything I should have covered today that I didn't cover that you'd like me to speak to? Comments, takeaways? Anybody? Can everybody still hear me?
Yes, yes, Coach, we can hear you loud and clear.
All right, thank you very much. Thanks for letting me know. Okay, if there is none, then that's okay. We will go ahead and adjourn. And I hope there's something that you got today, because here's my belief. You were not here even today by accident. It was ordained from the very foundation of the earth. At 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, July 17th, 2025, that you would be on this call today. And there's always a purpose. So I hope you got something out of it. Maybe you took some notes or you got some ahas.
I think you met August the 17th there, Coach Kola.
August the 17th, sorry. Yeah, August the 17th. That's right, August the 17th. 8 is August. I'm looking at 8/17 and I'm calling it July. Oh my goodness.
It's no
Thank you.
problem.
Thank
I
you for
just
the
wanted to,
correction.
no problem there. I just wanted to say I always get something out of it. And I've listened to you a million times, but it's each time, like you said, we hear for a purpose, and everything that you say it resonate. So it's the voice of God coming through you as a channel. So I hear things that I need to hear at the time, and it just empowers me each time that I hear something because I know it's real and I know it's the truth. So that encourages or inspires me to know that I'm on the right path. And before, it used to bother me when people would quit on me, but with the tools and things that we have and put in place, that doesn't even scratch the surface. I don't even worry, not one iota. I don't even leave sleep over that because I know we have something that could build and rebuild what we have. And that's just what I wanted to add, you know, to say what I have to say today.
Well, thank you very much, G-Man. I truly appreciate you, and I appreciate every single one of you. Um, I pray for y'all, I really do, every day. I learned something that as you start your day, your morning, so goes your day. And as your day goes, so goes your life. So I have a morning ritual because we don't become what we want to become. We become the habits that we have created. It's those habits that produce what we see. So we have to be, and habits are created through, it starts with, what do you listen to? What do you feed your mind? Because that's going to determine your thoughts, which is going to determine your actions. Your repeated actions determine your habit. Your habit determines your life, what you become or don't become. Habit. So it's like a person who says they want to lose weight, but they eat too much and move too little. That habit is not in alignment with their goal, right? The habits. All right. Thanks again, everybody. Um, uh, we shall look forward to visiting with you again. Look out for the emails and take some time to look at some of the things that I noted and pointed out to in this email today. And let us know, are you in? Are you out? Are you on your way in? Are you on your way out? Either ways. And what can we do to help you become?